So this is pretty exciting. It's kind of been a long time coming. Kiesel Custom Guitars. Let's open it up and see what it is. Try not to cut anything important here. Including your pointer finger. Don't cut your finger off. So whoever packaged this did a fairly professional job. Pro tip, kids, keep all this stuff in case, I know it seems crazy, but you might want to sell a guitar someday. And then you got a box and, woo, watch out, the ceiling's right there. You got a box and all the packaging you need if you ever want to sell one of these things. Okay, so this is the first of its kind for me. I bought a Super Strat. So I'm a little nervous to open this. This has actually been sitting in my entryway for about a week now. It showed up in the mail a week ago. And I've been super busy and I wanted to actually film my authentic reaction to opening this thing and playing it for the first time. So yeah, it's just been sitting in the house and I have not opened it yet. It is not in tune, but that's okay. Oh, maybe it's just drop D. It's drop D adjacent. Damn. It's super cool. It's light. It's very light. Let's check this out real quick. Came with all the necessities here. I don't think that opens. Okay. Some packaging. Alright. So here it is. The Delos. Delos? I don't even know how you say this. Delos? So I'm going to get this thing tuned up. I'm a little nervous. Just because I don't really have any experience with the floating tremolo systems like this. I had one guitar with the Floyd Rose style bridge. It was a cheap Ibanez, and I never played it, and I sold it. I think it was like a $200 guitar. So yeah, I know these things can be finicky. This is my first time ever really messing around with one, so we're gonna try to get it tuned up and see how that goes. Already reaching for tuners down here is throwing me off. Showing my ignorance here. You can't tune a guitar with a locking nut by the tuners. We're gonna have to figure it out down here. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'm quickly remembering how finicky these bridges are. If you watch this channel at all, you'll be aware that I mostly play Telecasters, which are super easy to set up and tune. And yeah, this Floyd Rose, the floating bridge thing is gonna be interesting. I'm curious to see how I do playing it, just because I'm used to being able to do like unison bends and stuff like that. But for those of you who have not had a guitar like this, obviously, as I quickly remembered, you use these to initially get the tuning set, to get it pretty much in the ballpark, but then you lock the strings down here. So once these are tightened down, your actual tuning pegs are no longer affecting the tension on the string at all, and all the fine tune adjustments come from these little guys. Let's see if you can see it with the lighting. These little guys here. So the tension of any one string will affect the other since the system is floating. So if your low E string is out of tune a little bit and you tighten it up, that's going to be adding more tension to the bridge, which is then going to pull all the other strings out of tune as well. So it's kind of a give and take. I don't know what you'd call this system, but like incrementally every time you adjust one string, you got to go back, check all the others against it, and kind of just keep getting all of them a little bit closer until they all finally sit right in tune. So that's where we're at. It's been probably 15 minutes of me fiddling with this. I'm sure it gets easier over time the more I get used to this stuff, but as a tele player predominantly, I'm not used to doing this. So yeah, still have yet to hear how this thing sounds. But that's not the guitar's fault, that is my fault. Okay, so I think we got this thing set up. It's taken me probably a good half hour. Watched some YouTube videos. Ended up adjusting the springs on the tremolo system itself a little bit to get the system kind of flush with the neck. I ended up lowering the action a tiny bit. All of this is stuff that I'm just kind of doing to set it up specific to me. So this is in no way a statement of like how it came or how it shipped. Yeah, just kind of trying to get it somewhat personalized. Getting it in tune is definitely interesting. Something that there's a bit of a learning curve that I think I hopefully will get faster at with time. But yeah, the floating thing, the whole floating thing is new to me. So people who are used to playing guitars like this are probably laughing at me at this point. I have not actually plugged it in and heard how it sounds yet, so we're gonna do that. I figured what better amp to use than my little Marshall Plexi that I got here. So we're gonna plug this in, and yeah, I'm excited to see how this thing sounds. It already sounds out of tune to me again. That might be my fault. Okay, so first thoughts here. That's just audio from the camera in the room. I'll get this thing mic'd up so we can actually hear how it sounds, or so that you guys can actually hear how it sounds mic'd. Obviously I'm sitting right in front of the amp now. This thing is fun to play. Super smooth. I'm always a little bit nervous when I buy a guitar online without having played it first. The main thing I'm worried about is neck, like neck width and neck feel. Everything else you can kind of set up after the fact, but the neck, you're kind of stuck with what you got. So I had messaged the seller to kind of try to figure out the width, and they had likened it to kind of like a modern Fender D shape. I'm super thrilled with how it feels. The overall feel and like finish on this guitar, I think they did a stellar job. This is used also, by the way. I bought this from a seller on Reverb, so it's not coming from Kiesel's factory. But yeah, as far as initial feelings or initial kind of thoughts, I'm super impressed. You're gonna have to bear with me. I'm not a super shredder by any stretch of the imagination. Like I mentioned earlier, if you're new to this channel, I predominantly play country guitar. So something I think that's gonna be interesting to get used to is when you're playing a fixed bridge like on a Tele, right? You have the ability to bend one string without affecting the pitch of the other string. So like a perfect example would be Eric Johnson's Cliff of Dover, right? Where he's letting that low E string ring out, and then he bends the high E string. If you do that on a Floyd Rose, listen to what that E string does. So there I didn't pick the high E string, but So if you're familiar with country guitar, that's kind of a big no-no because we do a lot of the pedal steel bends. But anytime you're letting multiple strings ring out while bending another string, in this guitar, it's going to affect the pitch of those other strings. So, like I said, this is not new. This is nothing new to people who play these styles of guitars, but it's definitely going to affect how I play. Man, yeah, this is fun. This is cool. So there you have it. There is the first look at this Kiesel guitar with the Floyd Rose, the Super Strat. Yeah, I think this guitar is going to kick my ass, if I'm being honest. It's really fun to play, and I've always liked the style of music that the Super Strats kind of developed, starting with, you know, the late 70s, 80s, obviously Eddie and everyone kind of akin to him in the same era. I don't play anything like them. I wish I could, but this was kind of supposed to be the kick in the rear end to get me going in that direction. So if you're here for mostly country content, don't worry. That's still gonna be my focus. But this is kind of the new side project, is trying to learn a little bit more of this style, and yeah, hopefully be able to incorporate some of that into my own country playing, if that makes any sense at all. If you can mix those two styles. Yeah, that is it. This is the Kiesel guitar. Super impressed. There you have it. Thanks so much for checking out this short little video. Once again, my apologies to anyone that actually can play these things. Anyone that's used to playing a Floyd Rose. It is not my wheelhouse, but I'm here to learn. So yeah, thanks for coming along on the journey, I guess. Well, cheers. We will see you all in the next one. Until then, as always, keep on picking.